Okay, hi, welcome everyone again to our seminar on research-based digitalization, which is a part of a series we have where we run almost every second week, half an hour during lunch. So you can join us, and if if you did not receive the email directly, you can also ask us to add you to the to the list so that you can also get notifications. In this week's seminar, we will talk about participation. But before that, you can take a look at the QR code that is a link to our webpage for the seminar. There you can also find the contact information and also see some of the collaboration that we have also with other programs in NTNU. So the title of today's presentation is User Participation in Large Digitalization Projects. What can we learn from Helseplattformen? I assume most of you have heard about Helseplattformen, which is a large digitalization project in the area of central Norway. It's still going on, but the study that we are presenting is from some years ago, where there was the implementation of the let's see, I'll just have to implementation of the platform was ongoing. I'm still having people joining, so I have to once in a while interrupt and let people in. Sorry for that. And this presentation is based on a PhD project that our PhD candidate Hamid Mahmoud did. He finished last year, and we have been presenting some of his results. And my colleague also, Sajid Shah, is online joining us, and he has been also driving force behind continuing the work that Hamid had started. So I will tell a bit about Helseplattformen, which is probably well known for you, but it's just a context to see how large this initiative was. We are talking about an acquisition project that started with around 4,000 requirements during the procurement. And there were 400 so-called SMEs, subject matter experts, that participated during the implementation. And these SMEs are also the kind of focus of this presentation. We will look at the knowledge that these SMEs had to acquire during the process. And then there are 40,000 people, 40,000 employees who will use this system. So we are talking about probably unmanageable amount of participation that can happen. So this representative participation is also has been quite important in the project, where not all the employees have been actively involved in the implementation. The system that is being implemented and the services based on the system will affect 700,000 citizens. There was a contract with the American company Epic that was signed in March 2019, and there were numerous so-called direction setting meetings that were set up during the initial phase in order to customize the system to the local settings. And these are mainly also some of the source of our data. These meetings is a source of some of our data. And there were 100 systems that needed to be integrated in the system. And there was a local company called Helseplattformen AS that was established, which is currently approximately 240 man-years. That is a local customization and consultancy business or company that is owned by the hospital and the municipalities, and is helping them with the customization of the system. Helseplattformen, as some of you might know, has had a quite turbulent birth, and it started with in May 22, where the platform went online, and then there was planned introductions in Santulav, and there were also demonstrations. For the first time in my career within ICT, I was witnessing people demonstrating in the streets against an IT system. But the implementation has continued, and more municipalities are now on Helseplattformen, and it's still quite controversial. Like, there was a new study from Møre og Romsdal where there's been a questionnaire among doctors, and according to Morgenbladet, more than half of them are considering to quit their jobs because of Helseplattformen. So this is very intriguing for us, because Helseplattformen is also one of the projects where we have had the biggest amount of user participation. And then our question then one was, okay, what is happening in this user participation? What can we learn of do's and don't do's in this process? Just a background about what this EPIC system is. EPIC provides a system that we will here call a half-built system. It means that it is an off-the-shelf product, but at the same time, off-the-shelf means that you can buy it. It's a product that you can buy it, but at the same time, it is also not a complete product. So the system consists of what we call a core that is developed in the span of many decades by EPIC, that has the basic functionality. And then when EPIC sells this off-the-shelf product to new customers, there is also a process of local adaptation, which is a very attractive proposition, especially for managers. You buy half of the system, so you don't have to build that half, and you can concentrate adapting. And this is a kind of double-edged sword, because you get half of the system that probably with the hope that will reduce the work of developing a completely new system. But at the same time, this half system that is the core, it can also function as a straitjacket, because it comes with its own hard-coded, its own functionality that is more or less immutable. It cannot be changed because so many customers of EPIC depend on it. So the local adaptations can feel like a shallow adaptation that is not deep enough, that is not fundamental enough, or which is what you need in digital transformation in many cases. And going forward to the specific case that we have looked at as a platform, and this shows a organization kind of bird's eye view. To the left here, you have the vendors, where EPIC is the biggest one. IBM and others also have been involved. And then there's this company Helseplattformen AS that was set up early to help with the local adaptation. And the company hired also many people from with a background in healthcare. And then you have the user organizations that are the big ones were the hospital, St. Olav's Hospital, but also Trondheim Municipality. And then there are also many smaller municipalities who have joined, and also hospitals have joined since. And each of these user organizations, according to the methodology that was used for implementing, they had a local implementation project that was in charge of implementing. And within this project, each of the organization had employed some of their own employees in the role of subject matter experts, SMEs. And these were playing a very central role, and they have also since moved into roles that are still connected to Helseplattformen and to local customization of Helseplattformen. And if you look at this organization, it also corresponds with the core and local adaptation that we discussed before related to the half-built system premise. So we looked into what SMEs had to know or knew or wished to know. So we wanted to see what kind of knowledge they possessed and they used and they found important. This is a quote by one of the SMEs, anonymous SME. It's not Noura in the picture, but some other SME who's telling us that what they did was, it was a kind of combination of how we do it now, how we would like to do it, and how we can make things easier with the new system, which is quite a straightforward sentence, because this is what you do when you are doing digital transformation. But at the same time, it's also pointing at a very huge responsibility for the SMEs, because it's easy for an SME to tell you how we do it now, because they are among the most expert domain experts in the municipality and the hospital, so they know how their systems are functioning now. But at the same time, they also have to know how to make things easier with the new system, which means that they have to know a lot about the new system or the core, but also the functionality that you can adapt. And at the same time, they also have to think about how we would like to do it in the future, because we are talking about a digital transformation. And the whole idea is to transform the organization to make it more future-proof, sustainable. So this is a broad range of competences that you need to have, and SMEs told us that they needed all this knowledge, and that's also some of the challenges that they were facing. So these are the three kinds of knowledge. It's a domain knowledge, how we do it now. Like if you're a nurse, you know how you're doing it now, so nobody needs to tell you. And then there's the knowledge about the IT system, how we can make things easier with the new system, and then the strategic foresight about what will happen in the future. So we looked into what they are doing in these three areas of knowledge, and we had some quotations that showed also some of the challenges they were facing, like with respect to how we can make things easier with the new system. They told us that the project was set up in a way that a lot of important technical and service decisions had to be taken very early in the project, and then they said we said yes to things that we didn't quite understand because they didn't know about the system. It was a complex system, so they were represented with a set of choices, and they had to choose, but they didn't know what are the consequences of these choices. With respect to what we do now, they knew a lot about like how the municipality works, what are the workflows, what are the routines. They had experience, they had network, they knew who to talk to, and they also knew their own specialty, like ambulatory behavioral health. So they had a lot of competence about that. And with respect to the future, there was a lot of insecurity about what are the benefits, how would we manage. I mean, even if we know how the future will look like, which definitely we don't know, like when they were doing this job, nobody was talking about Gen AI and ChatGPT, and that is something that's an example that things can also happen and change the future very quickly as one was thinking about. So this was also some of the challenges they had, that they don't know how the future will look like, but they don't know whether they will reap any benefit in the future of what the work they are doing. So a simplified rating of how much they knew in each area looks like this. I assume this is familiar for all of you, which means that the technical area was quite weak, and the future area was also more weaker than how they do it now. They knew much more about that. So this brings us to different ways of looking at digital transformation and participation. Because traditionally, what you see to the left is that most of the digitalization was based on translating how we do it now into a digital version. So if you were using a form, a paper-based form, you would make it into a digital form, online form, but you would not think about deep changes in the way you do things. And this is something new that came with the concept of digital transformation that actually has a transformation in it. And that again requires a lot more of those who participate. So how we do it now just becomes one part of the equation, and then, as we saw, you also have to know how to use the system, utilize the system you have bought or developed, but also to look at the future. How is it we want to do it? Do we want to have deep structural changes in the way we are doing things? And if you also look at historically, the old way, the traditional way of participation, is what often has been led by vendors and external consultants, because they would just interview you, they would ask you, and then they will translate what you're telling them into an IT system. But the new way is a much deeper transformation that is not quite easy to hire external agents, external consultants or vendors to implement it. And this is also one of the things that we think has led to some of the discussions around Helseplattformen, that Helseplattformen still was led, the participation was led in the outdated way, where the vendors and the external consultants were leading the process and were telling the employees what to do, and the employees didn't have the knowledge and the possibility to participate in a deeper transformative way. And then also we did some work on understanding who are these transformative employees, those who manage to participate in an efficient way. And we have seen that these are primarily not people who actually know how to program or how to build a system, but they also have other competencies, like they have people competencies. They are very liked in their workplace and organization. They are not negative towards digitalization, so they are ambassadors for transformation. They promote transformative thinking, and they have also leadership properties. Not leadership as leading an organization, but leadership as leading activities and leading the transformation. They are good communicators. They know English because the vendor was speaking English, so they know how to communicate in English, but also how to with whom to communicate, what to communicate. So they are good at that, and they are good at resolving conflicts, which is a major part of doing a digital transformation of this size. But we also saw that they also faced a lot of organizational barriers. Sorry, so they didn't have enough time, so they had to work very hard. They had to put their evenings, their weekends. The work was much more demanding than what they were expecting when they entered into the role of SMEs. And there was the complexity and the size that was really overwhelming, because initially they didn't have a proper organization also, so they were just thrown into this. But gradually we saw, of course, that the SMEs also managed to organize themselves and to create groups and to coordinate across. So we also have seen through literature studies that some of the conditions to make this easier for them to participate is actually coming from the management, which is not to manage how the transformation will be done, but to manage how the employees are actually participating, like through transparent and trustworthy strategization. Like they have to communicate the strategy that management has chosen. there must be incentives, time, and other incentives for people to participate. And there must be training and knowledge of skills, and there must be some kind of balancing of autonomy, so that not everything comes from the top. And this also brings us to the end, where we are also looking at, okay, what is this model of innovation, digital transformation that we are now seeing, that we are discovering? Because traditionally, when we have talked about innovation, it's been mainly Roger's model of digital innovation or innovation, that is a diffusion. And this is typically the graph that most of us know, that you have early adapters and you have a majority and then laggards. And this model works fine when it's easy to buy the innovation off the shelf and bring it into organizations. So it works well for component technologies. But as soon as the transformation becomes complicated and involves the organization, then there's a lot of challenge. So it is very difficult to acquire and control digital transformation from outside. It must be developed from inside. And then there are different opinions, and we know that in digital transformation, the opinions of the management, vendors, and consultants has often been much more in the focus than those of the employees. And this is also what we found, that okay, digital transformation needs to bring in the employee voice in a much stronger way. And also that employees need organizational support to participate. And this transformative participation, what we call it, is an ideal. I mean, we cannot, as also one of the opponents to Hamid says, that these SMEs they sound like they are superhumans. They know a lot. And so what we are seeing is a more organizational model for how to build up and develop SMEs to increase the maturity of the organization. And this is what we are doing in this new initiative. That this is a presentation of the background. So this is we have a new team in NTNU that is called Team on Digitalization Competences. And this is supported by one of the strategic areas in NTNU, that is health and life sciences. So we are very interested in involving you. You can take the RQ code and look at the team, and if you want to get involved, just let us know. And this is what I had to tell. Again, this is a part of this digital research digitalization series, that you can also provide us some feedback when you have the time or right away. I will now stop the recording